across from the park. We're not going in that. This is the memorial for the women that were killed in the Salem witch trials. Most of them were hanged to death, but there was one that was pressed to death. So they literally just stacked intense weight on her until it crushed her to death. And this is the old burial ground back here from like the 1700s. Each one of these little, what looks like benches, is actually a marker for each one that was hanged or killed. So this is one of the judges' house that sentenced the witches to death. It's right downtown Salem. I believe it was Judge Corwin. Come down here, we found a spot you park right up front. But you can go through and tour his house. So this is just 70 Washington Street. This is actually where the courthouse was where they put the witches on trial. Of course, it's all remodeled now.
Witches' lives matter.
So now we're at Proctor's Ledge on Gallows Hill. This is actually at the bottom of the Gallows Hill area. And this is the bottom of Proctor's Ledge. And there's a memorial here for the so-called witches that were killed, that were all hung. And there was one, some say it was the guy who was pressed to death. Another spot we found said it was a woman, but this is the spot. So if you come to Salem to visit and you want to see the witch stuff, there's witch tours downtown, the museums downtown, and there's that memorial downtown, but this is where it actually happened. Proctor's Ledge. It's behind a Walgreens now. And there's this ledge here. There's some houses built up here. There's a little cul-de-sac with these houses on it. There's 4 or 5 up there. We talked to one of the neighbors, and they said there's one particular house that they think that probably had some bad stuff happening on, because they had several bad things happen in just that one house, and they were all built at the same time and no problems with the rest of the houses. So there's a interesting point here. It says that you can't come off this sidewalk into this little memorial area. Please take notice, if you do it after dusk. So if it comes to be late, I don't know if maybe there's some kind of rituals going on in here, but you're not allowed to be in here, this area, after dusk, and they're not even allowed to do tours in this area. Okay, so if you come to Salem, check this out, see the actual site. Not a whole lot of information here, but you can actually stand where you would have been looking up, seeing them hanging. And Sammy read some interesting information that they think now might have been part of the cause behind the hangings.
So they're thinking that the real reason that those started happening were to settle vendettas between feuding families, and they would have a doctor would diagnose, kind of kids with different things, and the parents would tell them to insinuate that it was maybe somebody that hexed them to kind of get even with their rival family. So I think it was more about vendetta than it was being a witch.
All right, that's it. That's our trip in Salem. Check it out.